Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Take Five. My hair is kind of wild this morning, but anyway, we're in Exodus 33. Maybe I didn't rinse it good last night. I don't know. And verse 1, let's just go. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Leave this place, you and the people you brought up out of Egypt, and go up to the land I promised on oath to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, saying, I will give it to your descendants. I will send an angel before you and drive out the Canaanites, Amorites, Hittites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites. Go up to the land flowing with milk and honey. But I will not go with you, because you are a stiff-necked people, and I might destroy you on the way." Verse 4, when the people heard these distressing words, they began to mourn, and no one put on any ornaments. For the Lord had said to Moses, "Tell the Israelites, you are a stiff-necked people. If I were to go with you, even for a moment, I might destroy you. Now take off your ornaments, and I will decide what to do with you." So the Israelites stripped off their ornaments at Mount Horeb. I'm not sure what their ornaments were, but I think it had something to do with identifying themselves as God's people. And God said, "No, I'm not down with that right now." God was really upset with them because they decided to worship a golden calf. So he told them to, take off your ornaments and just say, "Hey, I'm not going with you. You guys are too stubborn. You want to worship other idols, and you can go on. I'm not going." He said, "If I go with you, I'll destroy you." That's kind of where they were at this point in time. So what's going to happen next? Moses and God are going to be having some conversations. All right? Because God has decided he's not going to destroy these people, but now he's saying he's not going to go with them. So we've got to deal with this. Look at verse 7. Now Moses used to take a tent and pitch it outside the camp some distance away, calling it the tent of meeting. Anyone inquiring of the Lord would go to the tent of meeting outside the camp. So God was showing up at this tent. I mean, he wasn't in the camp, but they could go out to him. And that's the thing about God. God is always with us, but God still wants us to come to him. All right, verse 8. And whenever Moses went out to the tent, all the people rose and stood at the entrances to their tents, watching Moses until he entered the tent. As Moses went into the tent, the pillar of cloud would come down and stay at the entrance, while the Lord stood with Moses. Whenever the people saw the pillar of cloud standing at the entrance to the tent, they all stood and worshipped. Now they're worshiping, see? Yeah, each at the entrance to their tent. The Lord would speak to Moses face to face as one speaks to a friend. Then Moses would return to the camp. But his young aide, Joshua, son of Nun, did not leave the tent. All right, so Moses would go back and forth. Moses would go talk to God, then he'd come back and talk to the camp. But notice Joshua stayed there. So Joshua always stayed in the presence of God. That's just a little side note right there. Joshua is going to become very important as we continue to read about Moses. But just remember, Joshua always wanted to stay wherever God might show up. All right, maybe that's a good point for us. We want to always stay close to God, don't we? We don't want to be going back and forth, back and forth. We want to stay close to God. All right. And you need to stay close to God. You do that by staying in his word. Thank you so much for spending time in his word today. And we'll be in verse 12 of Exodus 33 tomorrow, edition of Take 5. I'm trying to find my little place where to stop it. There we go.